Hi, my name is Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation, and this topic is really a good topic, and I think you're going to gain a lot of benefit from it. Don't forget, I used to be a divorce mediator, so I saw possessiveness in all forms all the time. That was over 20 years ago, granted, but I understand it. And since we've been doing this for over 20 years, I've seen possessiveness, jealousy, anger, all of these creatures come into marriage and really be very disruptive, and people want to know how to deal with it. So here's the topic. The topic is when you have a possessive husband. And I know that this feels like a tremendous burden on you. I do. And I'm not going to approach this in a way that just deals with this topic, because I think that would be doing you a great disservice. And if you're already a subscriber, and we have close to 26,000 subscribers as I'm producing this video, if you're already a subscriber, and you should be one, then you know that the approach that I take to marriage is so holistic. Our concept at the Marriage Foundation is not to work on problems, not to work on issues, not to look into your past, look into your child stuff, not to figure out why you're possessive or why your husband is possessive, but to understand your husband from a much higher perspective, a perspective that allows you to love your husband unconditionally. You see, you got married in order to experience happiness, didn't you? Isn't that why you got married? It's a universal reason for getting married, is to have happiness, have a happy marriage, and to experience unconditional love. Instead, what happens is, and this is almost universal because we are not taught, number one thing we need to do to be happy. Who's ever talked to you about how to be happy? Especially when you're looking for marriage help, right? But when I was a divorce mediator and this couple asked me to help them with their marriage, which is how I got on this journey, I realized that you cannot solve problems by unraveling the problems. You have to look at, instead, you have to look at what you're trying to actually achieve. What you are actually trying to achieve when you're married is happiness and love, marital love, unconditional love, and it's different from all other kinds of love. It's the deepest love there is, unconditional love is. So your husband is displaying certain attributes that are possessive. He is not possessive. There's no such thing as a true label that universally defines any human being. This is one of the great problems I have with current traditional marriage counseling and traditional psychotherapy, is they like to label. Oh, he or she is, right now, the big word is narcissist. Possessive is almost second. It's more accurate to say he has particular attributes that you can define as possessive. So the first step is to step back. And you could do this. You could grab a piece of paper and a pencil, and you could list 2 columns. Column 1, negative attributes that my husband has. Keep it short. Possessiveness. Now, another column. Positive attributes that my husband has. Is he a good father? Is he a good friend? Is he loyal to you? Is he nice to you? And now we're starting to see him more the way you saw him before you married him and decided he was my soulmate. But now we have to go further. The problem is we get married with expectations of each other, but not of ourselves. Not recognizing that part of our individual life is a necessity for individual evolution. We are supposed to evolve as individual people. So I'm going to ask you, what have you done to rid yourself of those attributes that, like your husband's attribute of possessiveness, stinks? What have you done? Have you identified your negative attributes? Have you used introspection tools? Have you looked at your thoughts? Have you looked at your behaviors? No. And the reason why not is because we're not taught to. There will come a time when the teachings of the Marriage Foundation become universally accepted. Right now, there's this trend for picking on each other, blaming each other. But you didn't come to this video just because your husband is possessive. You want a happy marriage. You want a loving marriage. So let's not say he's not possessive. I'm sure he is, or you wouldn't say so. I'm sure that attribute is there. But I want you to shift your focus on what you can do to not deal with his possessiveness, but deal with your marriage as a whole. How can you make your marriage filled with joy? That's what you wanted. Filled with love. That's what you wanted. Put aside his trait of possessiveness for now and decide, and trust me, we've been doing this with thousands upon thousands of clients who have signed up for our courses, who have bought our books, and they know. And you can know too, that if you work on your marriage as a whole, starting with yourself, and I'm not trying to shift blame. I get this from so many people who don't really listen. I'm not talking about blaming your husband for possessiveness. I'm not blaming you for your attributes. I'm saying put those aside. Instead, shift your focus. Start with number one. Learn how to master your own mind in order to be happy. Then, at the same time, learn how to infuse your marriage with love, infuse your marriage with joy, and watch the possessiveness attribute either completely fade away or its impact completely be dulled, because that's what will happen. So that is how we advocate things at the Marriage Foundation. You should go to our website, see what our offerings are. Our number one is the course for women. Number two is the course for men. And then we have a couple of books, but we have lots of these videos. You should be a subscriber. Now, many of you who are subscribers, many of you who have taken the courses have asked, I want to be a TMF counselor, because a lot of our audience are therapists who have been mistrained. And we're getting really close to my putting together an online training course for TMF counselors, and we want you. We want you to be part of our team because we have a message to spread. And more than that, we want to help every individual marriage that is there. So if you have an interest, let us know so we could let you know when it goes on the website. It's not there yet, it's almost there. And then you could sign up, pre-sign up. It'll be much cheaper for you. And then you could become part of our team. If that's not why you're here, and it could very well be because you've decided your husband is possessive, then I urge you to subscribe and learn really how to be married. I thank you for visiting. God bless you. I appreciate you. Your husband does love you. Take care.